So today we'll try to complete these table calculations. So today we will see most of the things like what are the options that are available for table calculations. So yesterday we have seen this running total, right? Today we will see other options. So let's take order date here and let's take sales. So in general, what we do like in real time, right? So I want to compare how much sales I have made this year comparing to the last year. So we always try to compare our marks with other people marks and like that, right? So here also, if any person is business starting business, right? So he'll try to compare what is the latest this year. He's trying to compare the this year sales with the last year sales like that. And now our scenario here is I want to find out what is the difference between current year sales and previous year sales. I want to find out. Of course, we have seen this requirement using lookup function, right? So the other approach we can do is like just go to the sum of sales here, just go to table calculation, simply do the simply click on the difference option. Now you see, so 3,15,000 is the difference between current year sales and the previous year sales. Similarly, 1,35,000 is the difference between the 2021 and the previous year 2020, like that. So if you want to get the difference between the current year sales and previous year sales, so it is the best option. Table calculations are the best option. And when you go to the 2019, right? So here you are seeing blank here. Why? Because we don't have any previous year to the 2019, right? That's why we are getting some null value here. Now, so this is the table calculation we have applied. So as we discussed yesterday, if you want to see what is the calculation that is Tableau is applying in the backend means, you can simply drag this table calculation what we have just applied into a calculation field. Now you see, we have seen this thing, right? So sum of sales minus it is using lookup function. So what is a lookup function means? It will also look for the same sum of sales only, but it is looking into minus one. Minus one means it will be taking the previous row sales. So sum of sales means it is a current row sales like this one, and minus one means it will be taking the previous row sales, and it is doing the difference now. Okay, like that. So this formula will be applicable for each and every row. For example, if I go to this 2020 here, sum of sales means this one, and lookup of z of sum of sales comma minus one means previous row sales, like that. And it is taking the difference between these 2 years, and it is giving the result is 4,470, like that. Okay. So if you want to show the original sales also, simply double click on the sales here. Now you see, so this is the actual sales and this is the table calculation we have applied different sales. Okay. Now you see, for example, we are comparing each year with the previous year sales, right? Then I want to compare each year with the next year sales. Very simple. What I can do, you can simply do it plus one here. Plus one means it will take the next year sales. So if you want to apply the same formula, right, you can simply go to measure values here, simply double click on it. You see, when you double click on it, it will show the entire formula what it is applying. So that is the sum of sales. I can do the change here itself. Just instead of minus one, just do the plus one. Now you see the answer is changed here. Now it is taking the difference between the current row and the next row, like that. And there is no next row to the 2022, right? Because of that reason, it is giving null value. See, you see here for 2022 we have some value, but we don't have next year, right? Because of that reason, it is giving null value here. So in general, in mathematics, what we learn here is if you do any operation with the infinity, right, we will be getting again infinity only. So if you do subtraction, multiplication, or anything to the infinity, right? We will be getting again infinity only. Because of that reason, here the infinity will be acting as null here. Infinity will be acting as null here. So in the next row, we don't have any value that is taken as null here. So if you do any multiplication, something like that, right, it will be again getting null only here. Okay, okay, like that. So, so this is the main formula we are using here. So just simply drag this calculation here. Okay, now we can do this, we can modify this formula in many ways actually. So what is my requirement? I'm just simply telling you one requirement here. So I have 100 rupees. Okay, person A is having 100 rupees and person B is having 80 rupees. Okay, so these are simple mathematics only. We'll be seeing, we have practiced these things so many times in our intermediate and 10th class also, and it is general question also. So I have 100 rupees and B is having 80 rupees. Now, what is the difference between these two persons means simply A minus B. So that is the same thing we are using here. A minus B we are using here. And I want to derive one more thing here. So A is how many times to that of B. A is having how many times to that of B value. Simple. So that is nothing but A by B. Okay. Or if I ask you, B is having how much percentage of money comparing to that of person A. So that's very simple formulas only. You just have to practice. You just have to think 2 to 3 times. That's it. So the simple question: how much percentage of money B is having comparing to A? Simple. B by A into 100. Of course, we will be using 100 here, like that. And if I get the difference, right? So for example, if I take A minus B, that is 100 minus 80, that will be giving you 20 here, right? So the difference between these two persons is 20 rupees. And if I ask you, this 20 is how much percentage of comparing to the person B, then you simply divide it by B here, like that. So these are simple formulas here. So let me one of the most important questions they will be asking is current year versus previous year. They will be asking you like that, current year versus previous year. So for that we can do in many ways, current year sales minus previous year sales. And there will be one more requirement. And so this is called difference here. This is called difference. And they will ask you some simple question. What is the difference in terms of percentage compared to the previous year? So this is one more type of question. And one more question is, A is current year sales are how many times to that of previous year sales? Simply current year divided by previous year. Or previous year sales are how many times to that of current year? So simple formulas only. Into 100 we have to do, of course. So this is called growth actually. So first one is difference. And I want to find out this difference, how many times to that of previous year. So this is called percentage growth. Percentage growth. Okay, like that. So this is a calculation. So just click on apply, and see you can apply all these formulas simply by double clicking in the same calculation. Or what I'll do simply, I'll go to, instead of doing minus here, I'll simply do division, like that. Just remove the minus and simply do the division here, like that. We'll be getting these values. Of course, we have to convert this into percentages. So we can do these things in a separate calculation, or here itself you can see you can do it in a separate calculation, or we can do in the calculation itself here itself. Okay, just go here, just go to format option and percentage option you can do here. Okay, so instead of in a separate calculation, okay, let me take separate calculation, something that is not a problem. Ready? So we are just comparing the current year sales with the next year sales. Plus one means next year sales. So current year sales are how many times to that of next year sales. If you want to compare it to the previous year sales, simply do minus one here. Just click on apply. And you see, instead of applying the format here every time, what I can do is I can directly go to this calculation tree here. I can go to the default properties and number format, and I can simply click on the percentage option here. Now, what is the difference between applying the formatting here and in the sheet here means whatever the format you will apply in the sheet, right? This format will be applicable for this particular sheet only. But if you apply any changes or if you apply any formatting in this data pane, right, this will be applicable for the entire data, entire workbook. If you go to other sheet and if you drag the calculation 23 into the sheet, right, it will be automatically in the percentages only, like that. Okay. Of course, you see, like we are getting this value now, and simple like I don't want to tell you that. So this is called percentage growth. This is the formula, and you see one more option. I'm just removing everything here. So if you go for sum of sales drop down here in the quick table calculation, here we are having one more option which is called a percent difference. Percent difference means current year minus previous year divided by previous year. Simply click on percentage this option. Now the tableau is showing these values here. If you try to check what the tableau is applying, just drag it to new calculation. You see difference minus divided by previous year. Okay. And here what is the meaning of ABS means? For example, the ABS function will what it will do is it will convert negative values into positive values. For example, if I got minus 5 and if you apply ABC function here, it will convert positive values into negative values like that. So because of that reason, we are using ABS in the denominator. You see, this is current year, minus 1 means previous year, divided by minus 1 means previous year. So very important thing, you just have to remember the formulas only. Okay. And so this percentage difference, you can so when you are having date fields, right, particularly when you are having date fields here, instead of going for percentage difference option, instead of going for percentage difference option, you can directly go for year over year growth. Year over year growth means how many sales we got more sales this year comparing to the previous year, that is in terms of percentage. Just simply click on this option. So this will be giving you the same answer actually. This also give you the same answer. But in general, when you are using date fields in the sheet, then we go for that year over year option. So this is also applying the same formula. Okay. So just repeating one more time, year over year growth means how much percentage of sales you got more sales in this year compared to the previous year. Like okay, let's see one more option here, which is called percent of total. So we already discussed about this percent of total, right? So what is that means like? Let me take the just remove this percent of clear this table calculation. Go to analysis, go to total, show column grand totals. See, total sales is 29 lakhs. And in the 2019, I have this 5 lakh sales, 5 lakh 75,000, so 5 lakh 75,000 sales. My requirement is I want to find out the same thing only, but in terms of percentage. So this 5 lakhs is how much percentage comparing to this total sales. So we have seen this using fixed LODs, and but here we are seeing this using option table calculation. So percent of total. Now you see everything you can it will be like when you drag this right, you see Tableau is applying simply this calculation here. Sum of sales means it will always give you the current row sales and total of sum of sales means already all these rows, right? Now total means it will do the summation of all these rows again, like that. So in that way, in the denominator we are getting total sales. See, instead of total function, we use one more function also, right? We can use window sum function also we can use. Both are same actually. But in addition, window function is having any additional arguments here, second argument and third argument. You just click on apply, it will be the same answer. So instead of this also, we have seen that fixed LOD also, right? So fixed like sum of sales. See fixed within, okay, just give me, yeah, fixed, okay. Fixed sum of cells divided by sum of cells. Again, we have to write here. Okay, just click on apply. It also give you the same answer here. Just click on apply here. Just click on OK. It will give you the same answer here. But what is the difference between total window sum and this fixed LOD? Means fixed LOD will not depend upon any other dimensions. And we'll see one more option here, like rank function. We will discuss a bit later. Percentile, moving average. Just you can just go through what is a moving. We just had discussed moving average in the yesterday class, right? If not, you can just go through what is a moving average and percentile option. So we don't use these two much in real time, but we will use rank function in real time. Okay. So let me tell you about this rank function. How this rank function will work. Just give me a second. So I just want to tell you one more thing here. So in window functions we have seen this lookup function, right? So if you want to look for the previous row, we have to use -1. If you want to look for the next row, we have to use +1, right? So the equivalent calculations in the SQL is lag function. So in the SQL, we will be using this lag function if you want to look for the previous row. If you want to get the next row sales in the current row, right, then we have to use lead function. So these are the two equivalent functions for this lookup function in SQL. But in Tableau, we have only one function only. But the second argument we are providing -1 for previous row, +1 for next row. So here -1 equivalent is lag function we will use. Lead function we will use for next row cells in the SQL. We'll discuss this after this in a few minutes. But let me discuss about rank function. Okay, rank function. Okay. So I'm just giving you this, like I'm just trying to copy the entire data in the